2019 was a huge year for Star Wars. We got the first live-action Star Wars streaming series, the end of the Skywalker saga, and a new video game that I am still obsessed with. Today we're looking forward to 2020, where things are definitely going to be slowing down, but that doesn't mean there's nothing to be excited about. There won't be any new movies coming to the big screen, but we will be getting at least 2 seasons of television on the small screen. Star Wars The Clone Wars returns for 12 episodes in its 7th season in February. We're going to get to see the finalized Bad Batch arc about a group of purposefully modified clones who have special abilities, and 2 Ahsoka-centric arcs about her time after leaving the Jedi Order. Ahsoka's Walkabout will cover her time on Coruscant surviving the underworld, and the Siege of Mandalore will likely be the end of the series as it was originally planned to be. The first episode will premiere in February on Disney+. We don't have much information about the second season of The Mandalorian other than the fact that it's happening and production began on it a while back. I would expect it to return to Disney Plus at about the same time of year Season 1 did in November. And we know there are at least 2 more streaming series in some stages of development, but no release dates have been announced. I would be shocked to see the Kenobi or Cassian shows debuting in 2020. They'll both probably come out in 2021 if I had to guess. There are currently no officially announced video games set for a 2020 release, so let's move on to books. The Rise of Skywalker Expanded Edition by Ray Carson will be released on March 2nd, hopefully giving us even more details surrounding the story of Episode 9. Thrawn Chaos Rising by Timothy Zahn will kick off a new trilogy of Thrawn books set in the unknown regions before his time in the Empire. I'm very excited to learn more about the Chiss Ascendancy firsthand. It'll come out on May 5th. Queen's Peril by E.K. Johnston will also release on May 5th, so that'll be a fun and busy day. It'll serve as a prequel to Queen's Shadow, also by Johnston, set just after Padmé's election as Queen of Naboo. And the book I'm most excited to dive into is Shadowfall, the sequel to Alphabet Squadron, both by Alexander Freed. I loved the first book and its characters, so I can't wait to see what they get up to next. It's set for release on June 23rd. And finally, for confirmed content, we'll get into comics. The main Star Wars run will be rebooting under writer Charles Soule tomorrow on January 1st. I'm very excited to have Soule take the reins on the main series. He has been my favorite writer for Star Wars comics by far, and I can't wait to see what he has in store. A new Darth Vader series will begin releasing on February 5th, written by Greg Pak. Dr. Aphra is also getting a reboot, which will begin in April, written by Alyssa Wong. All 3 of these series will take place in between The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, an often unexplored era of Star Wars even back in Legends. And a 4th ongoing series, simply called Bounty Hunters by Ethan Sachs, will begin releasing in March. It looks like that takes place shortly before the events of Empire. Now that's everything that's been officially announced, but I don't believe it's even close to everything we'll see in 2020. First, we've been hearing about Project Luminous since April. It'll be using comics and books to tell one story, and at Star Wars Celebration they did say it was slated for a 2020 release. They've been teasing more information on the project coming out in early 2020, so this video might be out of date very soon. But Justina Ireland, Claudia Gray, Charles Soule, Daniel Jose Older, and Cavan Scott are the 5 writers involved, and they've all done great work in Star Wars already, so this could be something very special. I've also got my fingers crossed for the announcement of a new animated series to take the place of Star Wars Resistance. That show was officially announced in April of 2018 to be released less than 6 months later. We could see something similar happen. I've heard rumors that more animated series are in development, but no word on what they'd be about or when they would release. And finally, I'm really hoping for a new installment of From a Certain Point of View. 2020 will be the 40th anniversary of The Empire Strikes Back, so I'd really love to see 40 more short stories from background characters just like the previous book. Star Wars Celebration is at the end of August, and I bet we'll get some announcements on release dates for Kenobi and Cassian, and hopefully some word on what the next film project will be, which I assume is still set for a 2022 release. But that's everything we know for sure is coming out in 2020. Let me know what you're most excited to see and read in the comments. If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and consider checking out our Patreon page. As always, thanks for watching, may the Force be with you, and have a very happy new year.